this cup to lose, because if you look at it, they are just the biggest team now in that competition. I won't consider Manchester United a big team though now, but they are out of the FA Cup. But let's see who wins that FA Cup. The draw of the next round is ready. We are going to give you the fixtures of the next round. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Volt Sports on Volt 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin. I'm here with the A team to talk about the magic of the FA Cup and other things that happen in other leagues. So, for example, Real Madrid lost this title race, while BARCA and Atletico Madrid won their own game. So it's now BARCA's title probably to lose. But Real Madrid can still come back. They came back, I think, with 10 points, 9 points, and covered the points.
And they even went and they led 9 points too.
So now they are now
back by 3 points.
Let's see what happens in that La Liga. Good morning, John. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Feeling everything is finally right with the world, we picked up a win against a team a lot of people were saying that we couldn't pick up a win against. And we are through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. On the other side of the league, like I said, Sociedad beat Real Madrid in that encounter. Isco on the score sheet with the captain band against his old side.
Not Real Sociedad, though.
Real Betis. It was Real Sociedad before this one.
Yeah, so good win in that encounter. And then the team that they said nobody could close the gap on is sitting third on the La Liga. So everything is up for grabs.
Good morning, Nos. How are you?
Well, good morning. John has entered La Liga and the Premier League. Let's not go there. I want to take everybody somewhere else. Samu got the goal, but it wasn't enough to keep what's called AC Milan in the game, and they lost that game against Lazio. It was a disappointing game for me. I wasn't happy with the result. That was how my weekend was, and that was the game that actually had to I prepared my weekend for, but it wasn't good enough.
Somewhere in the MPFL yesterday, Rangers International lost against Kano Pillars 2-1. We are going to talk about that. That means this title is almost away from us. But let's see, because Remo Stars won their game, so they are back with the 13 points ahead of Rangers International in that league title race. But let's see what happens in the remaining game. We're going to go into MPFL later on the show. Okay, let's start with the FA Cup. The FA Cup happened Saturday, Sunday. I'll give you the results of the game that happened Saturday and Sunday. Preston winning Burnley 3-0. Crystal Palace and Millwall. Crystal Palace winning that game 3-1, and the goalkeeper almost killed Meteta with his boots when he charged, the way he charged out to clear that ball. He had to receive his own red card. But Crystal Palace winning that game 3-1. Bournemouth and Wolves played at a 1-1 draw. It went on penalty, and Bournemouth won that penalty 5-4. Manchester City won Plymouth by 3-1. It was interesting because they scored first. Manchester City had to equalize and win the game later in the game. On Sunday, interesting. On Sunday games, Newcastle 1, Brighton 2. Both teams got a red card in that game. It was an interesting game. It moved to extra time. Brighton winning it in the extra time. Then the game against Manchester United and Fulham, as I told you, ended 1-1 in 120 minutes. But it went to the penalty, and Fulham won that penalty 4-3. Zeski and Lindelof missing their own spot kicks. Okay, guys, let's start with Saturday games. Let's start with the game against. Let's start with Crystal Palace, because why I talk about that Crystal Palace, it was a dangerous challenge from that goalkeeper to Meteta. He went to the hospital. I think he had about 12 stitches
at the back of his ear. And
yes.
I was like, come on now, that was too reckless. Yeah, I know you're an offensive goalkeeper. You came out of your line to clear, but your boots were way up. You see this man also charging. He was also looking at the ball coming. I know we say it was reckless challenge, but his eye first of all was on the ball. So his intent was not to
hurt him.
Was not to hurt him. But
it's normal.
But the way he charged at the ball was reckless. You know your intention is not to hurt anybody, but you being reckless already is hurting.
You know what the funniest part about that challenge is? But he's a goalkeeper. He could have used his hand.
Yes.
No.
He could have used his hand.
If you look at the area, it was slightly outside the line. So if he had used his hand, it would have been a foul against him.
Okay, that game.
Yeah, so if he had used his hand, it would have been a foul against him, and he doesn't want that foul against him or a yellow card offense. So I think he went with his legs to clear the ball because Mateta was still far out, but he didn't know that he didn't calculate Mateta's space, and that's the problem with the game. He did not calculate Mateta's space, and I feel like it was a general good game overall, because if you look at the game from beginning to the end, it was interesting to see. It was a game that you just look at, and be like, this is wonderful football.
Okay, Joe, let's move to the next game. It's Bournemouth and Wolves. They ended 1-1 in regular time. They went to extra time 1-1. Penalties, Bournemouth winning that game 5 goals to 4 on penalties.
Yeah, you could see that Traore missed his penalty, Doherty missed his penalty, and then on Bournemouth side, Houston missed his penalty. I think these two teams were pretty even.
Yeah,
If
they are
there's
very even.
if
Yes.
there's any team that would have maybe edged it out in 90 minutes, I would have put it towards Bournemouth because of the caliber of signing they've made since they sold Solanke. They brought in Ivan Nilsson, brought in a couple of other players. You have some talent there, and then you have the news of Andoni Iraola in that side as well. So, but this is the FA Cup, this is not the Premier League. So there are a lot of antics that you cannot imagine in this conversation.
Okay.
But nonetheless, good one for them.
Good one for Bournemouth. Bournemouth they are in the next round of that competition. Now, okay, let's talk about Manchester City because they won against Plymouth 3 goals to 1. I know, John, in the first half they were winning 1-0, even though I knew that somehow Man City is playing at home, somehow they're going to equalize and win that game.
Yes.
But it was interesting that Man City considered first. They had to fight back to win that game 3 goals to 1.
Yeah.
Everybody wrote Plymouth off now. John was like,
Nobody wrote
you
Plymouth
wrote
off.
them off because
It's a lie,
I reminded you. And I
You
reminded
were
you.
here on the day
And I told you that they
shouting
will
that
beat you.
Plymouth are going to beat
Uh-huh.
City.
Because you guys
Nobody
wrote
said
them
that
off.
City is going to beat Plymouth. I was
You?
the only person
Uh-huh.
backing City for the win.
Every other person in the comment section said it was going to be a blowout. That who is Plymouth? That the Giant Killers are going to be killed.
It's fun.
And-
It's funny how you twist words, man. Because you can
and
go
in
back
that
to
game-
that same chat and see
And
those
in, that, and
conversations.
in that game, we saw a Plymouth side play and score against Liverpool. And I think it was just, they were just overwhelmed by the pressure from Man City. I keep saying it.
But they were overwhelmed
If
now.
I am a coach, I am winning 1-0. I will not pack trailer or bus. I will not sit in my own half and allow you come halfway into my line. No, I will not. I will come back in midfield and make it as occupied as it can be that you cannot see a pass through. It's as simple as that. Than sitting deep. That's one thing most coaches, I think if you look at the Brighton coach and Iraola, that's one thing they've learned. They don't sit deep. Now, if you look at this team, they like to play defensive and counter on the break sometimes. But whenever they are playing against big teams and they get the early goals, they don't sit deep. They occupy the midfield and make it so compact that you can't play and progress forward. If you get a pass forward, it's either going to be an offside pass or something else. Or something will just happen. They will get the ball back before you can run to the 18-yard box. But when you're sitting deep in the 18-yard box, a deflected shot can confuse the goalkeeper. And I feel like that was what happened to Plymouth. They sat too deep into their own box.
What do you expect to happen against Man City?
You come out. I'm not saying come out and play 90 football. See, Godwin, I'm not saying come out and play football. They don't come out and play game pressing with them. It's going to be hard for you. Don't play. Just let your 11 players be on the midfield.
Well, I don't know what you want them to do because going away to Man City, trying to attack Man City is suicide.
It's not attack.
It's
not attack.
Let me give you the statistics. Man City had 29 shots in this game. 29. 9 of them was on target.
How many were blocked?
Do you know what it means to have?
No. How many was blocked?
Do you know what it means to have almost 30 shots in one game?
How many was blocked?
You cannot just attack this. If you attack, okay, you are defending and they had 29 shots. What if you attack them? Do you know what will happen?
I'm not saying attack them. If you had closed down the midfield,
how will you close down when the runner started in this game?
You close down the midfield. There's a way you close down the midfield. You know.
What is the way, Alpha?
I keep saying play compact football. Compact football.
These guys are like third bottom on the table. In the championship,
and they beat Liverpool
with luck. Did you see that game?
And they beat Liverpool. It's just the same thing. The way they played against Liverpool, they were compact. They were not compact.
It's not about compact too, because you can shout here and cry compact, play compact for what is compact football. They didn't play anything in this encounter that you tell me that and they would have had a fighting chance. No, not really. The game against Liverpool, quite and fine, they won that game. But then let's look at this lineup that started that game against them. Let's look at the lineup that started against them. Liverpool didn't play their full force.
John, it's not about looking at the lineup.
If Liverpool play their full force, there is no way they will.
It's not about looking at the
That's
lineup.
the thing. It's to their own chagrin. The only time Liverpool have lost outside their first loss to Nottingham Forest, they rested a couple of key players in the Champions League,
yes,
the final
and
game, and in this game against Plymouth, and they lost both games, and they conceded a lot of goals in those two encounters. So you can't come back and write it off and say yes. When you win, they will write songs about you. Yes, but if you do not know the truth and you allow that to delude you, then it's to your own fault and not the fault of the people who are writing songs for you.
When they were still 1-0 up, Olay scored the equalizer. They have to introduce Diaz, Haaland, and Nico Gonzalez. There is no way these guys will, and they are playing at home. But they tried for them to reach this round of FA Cup. I think it's kudos to them. They actually did well. Congratulations to them. Let's see that if it will help them continue to challenge where they are in the championship, even though they are not doing well in that championship. But it might give them morale boost for them to continue in whatever they are doing. Okay, let's move on to the Sunday game. The Sunday game, first game in the Sunday game. It was an interesting game first before before we talk about the Manchester City game. It was Newcastle and Brighton. That game ended 2-1 in favor of Brighton in the 90, whereby scoring in the extra time of that game. Even though Gordon's got a red card in the 83rd minute and before he went to the extra time. Now, if you look at that game, interesting game of football. It's scored again. It's scoring the game, but Brighton, as usual, came back fighting and scored and won that game in extra time. Extra time, 2-1. Both teams got a record in the regular time.
My man.
Gordon in the 3rd minute,
Lamptey in the 90th minute.
Yeah.
So both of them play with 10 man for 30 minutes, and then Welber scoring in the 6 minutes in that extra time to win that game.
My man on the score sheet, everybody will say is Isaac Yakubu Minte. That guy has been a revelation for Brighton this season. He's been something you have to look at and say, how is this guy managing to play this position? He's playing in the fullback position. He's played in that anywhere along that right side of the field. He's there, and whenever he misses the ball, he's sprinting backwards to help the defense line recover the ball back. And when they get the ball back, he's making runs forward. He's taking on defenders. He's trying to create a chance for himself. Though he's not, his numbers, you say, what are his numbers as relative to his effort? His numbers are not as great as the effort, but what happens, what we always appreciate is the effort. You get the effort of a player who can run 90 minutes, help the team defend, help the team attack, help the team create chances, gets the assist, gets the goals if possible, like what's it called, Mitoma on the side. So these two players have done a good job for Brighton, but Yakubu Minte in this game was a nightmare for the defense line for Newcastle. It was like, please, can we just get this guy out of the team so we can play football? And our guy scoring the second goal to give them the win in the extra time was a good game for him.
Good game for Welbeck. Scored. I think since he moved to Brighton, he has his own injury problems, but
whenever he's available, he's available.
I like, even when he played for Arsenal and played for Manchester United, you can see that effort is one thing that he does not lack. He works hard for 90 minutes, even if he's playing 10 minutes. He works. I think he won the league with Sir Alex Ferguson at one point before he moved to Arsenal. But good game for Brighton. They are in the next round of this competition.
Yeah, good game for Brighton. It was always going to be a tough game between two teams that have attacking prowess in their side. On the day in particular, once they got that red card, Newcastle kind of fell flat for me going in towards the closing stages of the extra time. And then these guys were also able to take advantage of that. They too were down to one man, but when we said in this show that your mentality after you get a red card counts. Do you drop your head and go and defend? Do you go and pack the balls and try to grind out a result? Or do you go out there and see if you can get something for yourself? And clearly they did. I feel Newcastle will feel hard done by the fact that maybe they were hoping that it would get to penalties. But in this life, you have to take your shot while you have it.
Okay, that game ended 2-1 in favor of Brighton. Brighton are in the next round of this competition. Okay, finally, it's Manchester United. Manchester United losing at home to Fulham on penalties, 4-3. Okay, if you look at that game, it was 1-1. Manchester United conceded first again in the game. I don't know, they concede every time they concede first, and it's from a set piece again. If you look at Bass scoring that goal, our own Bass scoring the first goal from a corner kick. But they came back to equalize, went to extra time, to penalties, then they lost. But even though penalties is a 50-50 game, but they have a whole lot to do in this Manchester United team. Even though that after the press conference, Amorim said that the goal is to win the league. He does not know how long. That's how he said it. He doesn't know how long, but the goal is to come and win the league. But in this particular game, what went wrong with Manchester United in this game?
For me, it's that same thing we keep talking about. Like we said it in the podcast yesterday. When you keep saying the same thing week in, week out, and the same issue is not being addressed, you know that maybe either the manager is acquiesced to the team going the way they are till he can bring his own players in, or the players don't just want to adapt. And that's a situation that Manchester United find themselves in. Why do we keep saying it for week in, week out, that Manchester United keep waiting till they concede before they wake up and come alive? You could see the performances in that game for their own players. A lot of players were subpar. a lot of players will suffer. And then, Diego Dallo created an opportunity for Bruno Fernandes. And a lot of people are still looking at the elephant in the room, which is Højlund upstairs in the attack. They keep loading the ball and expecting Højlund to finish everything for them without coming in to maybe play off him and then create an opportunity for him to score. Højlund in that center with those giant defenders around him is never going to get that ball the way they are lumping it into the box for him. But if somebody can come, you get the ball, get into that position, maybe play a quick 1-2 with him and drop the ball for him to get a scoring opportunity. But when you keep overloading the box and expect him to make a magic trick out of all
Everybody
the balls
wants it
they
to be
lump
Zeski.
inside,
Zeski that is dribbling up and down.
crazy, man.
Everybody is not Zeski. Everybody is not Thierry Henry that takes on players. Everybody is not Kylian Mbappe. Even the Karim Benzema, whenever he is there to build up play, he takes the ball. He's always looking at who to pass the ball to so he can make the next run. For Højlund, that is not there. When I was saying it, at least Johnny is beginning to see that partner that they don't create enough chance for this guy. And when they create the chance for him is when he's in in the Bible it says valley of death. You get when he's in the valley of death, that's when they create the chances for him. And you cannot be I don't know how to you cannot be relieved of the pressure from 4 defenders and you're the only one in the box sitting in the box. Now Bruno Fernandes shot touch, how was it? It was from outside. I keep asking it why he makes the run and you do a cutback and he's now making the run to make defenders run off you. That's he's not making the runs to create the chances for other players to score. Now the pass is not coming to him, but whenever the pass comes to him, please make somebody else try and make those runs for him. Look at in the first half, you're starting at Eriksen, who knows how to create chances. But yet Eriksen's passes were not going to Højlund, it was going sideways.
Of course, and that's the problem because I would wonder that as a team like Manchester United, the manager will have this conversation. Look, Højlund is the guy we have upstairs.
You pass to the wingers will look up and still pass to the midfielders, and nobody's passing to Højlund.
The ball is not going direct.
And we keep saying whenever the ball comes forward to Højlund, he's falling down like a cut down mango tree or all of that. He's soft on the ball. He's not as physical as we expect him to be. He can't be as physical as you expect him to be because he can't make the run alone. He can't take the pass alone and make the run alone. No, we know he has a good footwork. We know he is good in build-up play, but he cannot do the work alone. So whenever you pass the ball to him, somebody else should make the run. And for how long will this continue to be that everybody wants to pass the ball to Bruno Fernandes to score the goals? Everybody wants to make Bruno Fernandes create the chance. Everybody wants the other midfielders to create the chance. Garnacho wants to run like a headless chicken. He wants to continue to experiment, continue to try and improve himself by dribbling 1 or 2 players. And yet, whenever you take those balls, you look up, you see a pass you could make. And instead of making those passes, you decide to take the ball and run. Pass the ball, you notice that the ball is much faster than your speed when you pass.
The funny thing about the Garnacho thing is for all the dribbles, for all the runs and everything, what's the productivity at the end of the day? 0. So I feel there's a disconnect and they need to have that conversation. If Højlund cannot take the ball alone, make the run and get the opportunity and shoot the chance, then somebody should drift in to support him. And then he feeds off that player and he can get the chances.
I think Højlund is the same. I won't say the same caliber of striker with Haaland, but similar. They are not carriers, like they are not the Henrys, they are not the Agueros.
They are not.
They are players that you need to create a whole lot of chance. I think he will strive at Arsenal. People that create a whole lot of chances. There is no way you will not get at least 2 or 3 clear chances if you play for Arsenal or Man City. But for the Manchester United, they are not really creating more for the striker. They play from the midfield mainly, from that number 10 that play behind it. So that's why almost every time Fernandes is scoring, their midfield are scoring. Their striker don't score because they are trying to build from that. I don't know how they are trying to set up, but this particular game.
If you want to set up like the 2008 World Cup winning France, you need to have somebody who is more physical up front. You get in the spec of who has similar play style to Oliver Giroud. You need to have that player, which means if he drops the ball, whenever he's on the ball, you know that anybody can make the run behind him and he drops the ball.
Giroud is different because Giroud is perfect.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you want to play that kind of football, you need to have a player in the mode of Giroud.
Okay, makes sense that way.
But Højlund is not in the mode of Giroud.
Yes.
He's not in the mode of Karim Benzema that can have a hold-up play that's as good as that. He's not in the mode of all those players. He's not in the mode of Didier Drogba as well that has a better hold-up play or is Romelu Lukaku. He's not in that mode. He's a different kind of player, so your hold-up play would not work off Hoylund. He can walk off. If you look at how Zeski plays, his carriage, he can walk off Zeski because he's physical. At some point when they introduced Chidobe Martins, he worked to an extent, but this boy is a young boy. He will be bullied off the ball, and he was bullied off the ball. Not that he would be. He was bullied off the ball, though he's more physical than Hoylund. If you look at it, though, age regardless, he is more physical on the ball than Hoylund. But the lack of experience is just what is missing there. If you want to play that kind of football, you need that kind of player.
Now the penalties, Lindelof missing his penalty. That guy, John, we were talking about this yesterday. Every transfer window, somehow
He's missing
his action.
Nobody will disappear.
Nobody will hear about him. Nobody will talk about him until the
we need to close. You now hear he's back of injury. He's training with the team. Bro, don't train with the team. Go. Don't train. No, we don't want your training. I think at some point we saw Phil Jones training with the team, and we said, okay, Phil Jones left quietly. He didn't terminate his contract. He was on the contract, and he was okay. Fine, we can't be playing with us. He went to be the assistant coach for the under 18, and that season, I think the last season and last 2 seasons, they had a stellar defensive record. Him being an assistant coach and training the defense line. He was, I think, he was in charge of the defense training, and the under 18 had a stellar defensive record. You get going at least, I think it was 20 matches without conceding a goal in their league. We will say now under 20 now who concerned that one, but as nobody that one no concern anybody. It was a good result to see that under 20s or under 18s could go 20 matches without conceding a goal. It means something is working right for them. The reserves could go at least 10 matches without conceding a goal. It means something is working right for them. Now he's no longer on the first. In short, there's no need calling Viojo to the senior team. There's no need calling him to the main team. His contract has gone. He's left. Everything is ended with Phil Jones. Same thing should happen to this guy. But just go. We don't longer need you. And this man is coming in now to introduce him to the first team. He's coming in. He was his teammate at Braga. Yes, we understand. He was his teammate at Portugal. Yes, we understand. But in the Portuguese league, but this guy is not what Man United needs right now.
Well, penalty. We can't
because they leave the lock.
We can't really blame him
because
of the penalty.
Do you know he committed the blunder in the match?
Of course.
He committed the blunder in the match, and what happened?
For me, I would just say that the two players who missed those penalties, you need to go back and look at the posture, the composure of the players. You could see that Lindelof, Baba no get strength again. I don't understand. You entered the game in the second half. You played, let's say you played the second half, and then you played extra time, and then to come and take the penalties, you look at the other players that are taking penalties, you run on the ball, and then you beat the goalkeeper, send the ball in the wrong direction. If you are going to send the ball in the same direction as the goalkeeper,
there should be power.
There should be power behind. But bro, nothing. Same for Zeski as well. So, it's still going to boil down to this same conversation of like Manchester United at the summer, who stays, who leaves, because that's the biggest question. You can, and then secondly, I support what Wayne Rooney said, even though Wayne Rooney should not have the right to say anything about Manchester United right now, because him and the other former players, none of them have said anything nice about the club. None of them, even when they were playing there at the twilight of their careers, had anything good to show for the club. You come out and say that Amorim saying that the goal is to win the Premier League is naive. I agree it's naive, but Amorim has to give the players something to believe for. Right now, there is nothing to hope for. There's nothing to hope for the club.
Okay, let's see what happens to Manchester United this year, because the only competition they have now is the Europa League. If they want to play the Champions League, they have to win the Europa League. Then that's the only way they will make the Champions League next season, or any European competition next season. If you look at where they are standing on the table, if they win the Europa League, then they will play the Champions League next season. But the question, can they win the Europa League? That's where the question is. But anything is possible in football. They can finish 13th and play Champions League if they win the Europa League. But for this particular game against Fulham, they lost. They are out of the FA Cup. Then finally, guys, the quarterfinal draw of the FA Cup is complete. So in the quarterfinal, that game is happening between 28th of March and 31st of March. That's when these games will happen. Fulham will play Crystal Palace. Preston will play Aston Villa. Bournemouth will play Manchester City, and Brighton will host Nottingham Forest or Ipswich Town, which they are playing today. But if you look at this quarterfinal draw, who do you think will advance to the semi-finals? Okay, let's start with Fulham versus Crystal Palace. Who do you think will reach the semi-finals?
I'll back Fulham.
You back.
Crystal Palace get their juju. They get them like this. They hold them
I'll
like
back
this.
Fulham.
The only
I'm
championship.
backing Palace, please.
The only championship club that is still remaining is Preston Town, Preston North End, and they are hosting Aston Villa at home. Do you think that they can shock Aston Villa?
They are going forward. Aston Villa will come back. Aston Villa going to focus on the Champions League.
Okay,
I don't think so. Aston Villa have what it takes to. You know, I like when Emery comes out and tells you that he's not here to win the FA Cup. He's not here to do this one. But then you go ahead and you go and win your game and win convincingly. You know, I like those types of moves because they have a credible chance in this FA Cup.
Okay, and Bournemouth will host Manchester City. Who do you think will advance to the semi-final of that game?
City, of course.
John go
accept
yes.
Bournemouth now. It was a shocker.
Okay.
The second shocker of the season.
The last one is Brighton and Nottingham Forest or Ipswich Town.
Let's not leave that one first. Let's talk about the game for the night. Ipswich and Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest will win this game.
It's not possible.
It's possible.
McKenna, I see. Nuno Espirito Santos, I love you. I respect you. Taiwo, I respect all of them. But I just want my McKenna and that flop Man City sent to my way last season. I just want them to just get a win in this one. So at least there could be something to fight for next season.
Okay.
There could be something of a morale booster for next season.
Okay, let's see who will advance in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Because let's even see who wins the FA Cup. Finally, let's go to our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can go there, drop your comments, and we'll be reading your comments live here in the studio, or anywhere you are in the world. You can always join us live and drop your own contribution. We'll be reading your contribution. Okay, John, what is happening on our YouTube channel?
Okay, yeah, we have new visitors today. We have Jo saying hello to you. Welcome to the stream. And then we have Liam Jones. Liam Jones is back. He's saying that while I appreciate a country such as Nigeria, okay, yeah, and then we see what you mean there. And then Ebube Tiono is saying good morning, Vote Sports. Good morning to you. Joseph Ibe is saying good morning, Vote FM. What Nonso is talking about is for Plymouth to play a high line like Barcelona. But this high line should be in the midfield so that you will subject Man City to long balls. Okay, making sense. And then he's also
You're
saying,
a tactician like me. You
he's also
understand
saying,
tactics.
no, so the only way for this your high line to work is when you have defenders that are as fast as Anthony Robinson, Fulham captain for yesterday.
They have them.
And then he's also saying Chido Obi Martins is way better than Højlund. Did you see how he bullied Calvin Bassey in the second half?
Like I said,
His build is
physicality.
better than Højlund and he's more threatening than Højlund.
Come on, like I said, physicality, he's more physical on the ball, but he lacks that touch of experience.
And then finally, he's also saying Amorim keeps getting on my nerves by not starting Chido Obi Martins. For Zeski, I don't blame him. He really did a good job for our midfield.
Kudos to Bruno Fernandes.
Kudos to Bruno Fernandes.
Okay, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can always go there, drop your comments. We'll be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, let's move on to the La Liga. La Liga title is heating up. And Real Madrid losing their own game against Celta Vigo, our own Anthony. Not our own Anthony, because since he moved away from Celta,
Betis.
Real Betis, they lost against Real Betis. Since Anthony moved there, they have been winning games somehow. Probably is bringing them luck, but I'll give you the results of the La Liga that happened in the weekend, and we talk about the three big boys there. On Saturday is Girona versus Celta Vigo. That game ended with a draw 2-2. Rayo Vallecano 1, Sevilla 1. Real Betis winning Real Madrid 2-1. Isco, their former captain, scoring a penalty to win that game for them. The last game is Atletico Madrid winning against Atletico Club 1-0. And our own John's very own Alvarez scored in that, the only goal in that game. On Sunday, Leganes 1, Getafe 0, Barcelona trashing Real Sociedad 4-0. Then finally, Mallorca and Alaves playing a 1-1 draw. Then Osasuna and Valencia playing a 3-3 draw. Okay, let's start with Real Madrid game. Real Madrid losing that game 2-1. They scored first, and everyone was thinking, okay, Mbappe with a lovely assist though to Diaz to score the first goal in that game in the 10th minute. But if you look at generally how Betis played in that game, they played really well. They had more shots, in total 18. Had more shots on target than Real Madrid. Even the position was about 50-50. But if you look at the poor game for Real Madrid, if they are looking for to win this title, the game was too poor. Even Ancelotti came after the press conference and said that they deserve to lose this game because the way they played was just It didn't even make sense.
When you have somebody connecting the dots, and when we talk about the player in the media, it's like he's not getting enough credit. Now we see what is wrong with Real Madrid. You see the players that are missing for Real Madrid. The defense line, anybody can cover that defense line. If a player is missing, a player can cover. If there was this guy in the defense, in the attack, Jude Bellingham, it would have been a different story.
He has a red card.
Now as I'm saying, if he had been in that midfield, it would have been a different story. You get, if you look at the lineup, the way they set up to play, I keep saying it, whenever your players are not available and the other ones are played in another position and they play well, you play them like that. But when these certain players are supposed to play, because I feel like if Valverde was in that midfield or Marshall in that midfield, they wouldn't have missed the presence of Jude Bellingham. He might have as well gone forward to play in the attack line. You get, if this guy was available, but it was not, and it's just crazy to see that the lineup was just changed and everybody was seeing the impact of the connecting dots between midfield and attack.
Okay, John, that game is, I think, poor result from Real Madrid. Losing 2-1 when you are looking to win the title. I think it's a poor result. Even though Anthony played 90 minutes, good game for Anthony, even though he did not score an assist, but good game all around for him.
Yeah, good game around for him. I was looking forward to seeing something spectacular. And, average game nonetheless. I felt that he should have done better, but on the night, I just felt that Real Madrid were too poor. Why wasn't Asensio starting for Madrid? Number one, Madrid are stronger defensively with him in the mix-up. And then Bellingham, obviously, everybody knows how important Bellingham is. But, Bellingham never gets the credit. It's always Vini, Mbappe, and the other guys in the side. Hopefully now everybody can see that this guy is the one actually carrying this squad. Because for all the flourishes, for all the attempts to move forward, no productivity on the night.
They lost that game 2-1. Real Madrid is lacking in this title race. Talking about the other title contenders, Barcelona trashed their own opponent. Real Sociedad 4-0. Lewandowski scoring the final goal. They scored the 4 goals in the first 16 minutes of that game. I think Barcelona, when they start scoring, they pour. When it start raining, they pause for them.
Yeah.
They pause for them that they don't even score one and leave you. They will keep scoring you. If you look at that game, they almost killed these guys. They were scoring 33 shots.
They got. I think Sociedad got a red card.
Got a red card in 17 minutes. Okay,
yes.
see the
8 minutes later, they scored.
See the statistics. After that red card in the 17 minutes for Real Sociedad, they did not have one shot in that game. No shots in total. No shots on target. No total shots, 0. Barcelona had 33 shots.
10 on target.
And 10 on target. They almost 80% position. They almost suffocated these guys, and I think they deserve to win that game 4-0.
They deserve to win it. It's not their fault that the guy got a red card, but then when you have opportunities in the game, you need to be able to close them out, because some other teams could have had this opportunity and not gotten anything on target. So Barcelona had that opportunity. The question now is going to be how the games are going to come up, how they are going to shape up, and who is going to stay, consistent, winning their games to be able to close out the La Liga.
Okay, no. So that game, interesting game for Barcelona.
Interesting. Last week, Real Madrid took their points. Weeks ago, Atletico Madrid took their points from. So I think Sociedad is just there to share the points. You get, but the goal margin is just what I'm going to talk about. The goal margin they allow, the amount of goals they allow in is just too much. You get. I feel like if this is a team that wants to compete for top 4, you would at least concede one, you lose 2-0, we understand. But after that, you try and seal up the back line. The back line was not sealed enough for Barcelona against Barcelona. Look at Caicedo scoring the goal, Gerard Martin scoring the goal, and you ask yourself, how many times have these people played? These people don't know the road to a post. They only know how to pass the ball around. They don't know where the goal post is. They don't know where the position box sitting is, but they get on the score sheet and you ask yourself, how did it happen? Because Real Sociedad lost their focus in defense.
Okay, that game ended 4-0 in this title race. The other title contender, Atletico Madrid, won that game 1-0. Alaves was introduced in that game in the second half, and he scored in 6 minutes to win that game for them 1-0.
Yeah, you don't need to score 5-7 and all those high numbers, but then you need to be able to.
They score high number. How many times they score more than 2 goals in a game?
Atletico highest margin. The highest margin is 3. And if they beat it by 3 goals plus, just know that day they are feeling like, I don't know if I'll say they are feeling like the gods at the moment. They're feeling like gods at the moment. But Atletico Madrid 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. 2 goals margin is enough for them to seal a win. And anytime they score the goal, it's fine. But they can't allow you, no matter how they play, no matter how bad or how badly they play, they can't allow you score against them without them having a shout of scoring their own goals. You get, so if they score their goals and they score two, then they can allow you score one. Is one thing. That's why you see Atletico not, you see their goalkeeper not going for the golden glove. No matter how far we say Atletico sits deep, packs the box, you still see them concede 1 or 2 goals per game. But in this game, they went on, they couldn't get the chances in the first half, and they got that one chance in the second half, and they buried it beautifully. Julian Alvarez buried it beautifully, and that was the end of the game.
That's the end of the game. So that's the 3 title contenders. If you look at the top scorers in the La Liga, Lewandowski scored the final goal for Barcelona, so he has 21 points, 21 goals. Mbappe has 17. So let's see in battle of this top scorer who is going to win the Golden Boot for La Liga. But if you look at the table in the La Liga, after 26 games, Barcelona stay first on the table with 57 points. Atletico Madrid have 56 points, and Real Madrid are third with 54 points. It's still 3 points different. So
3 points, yeah, because they were equal on points before now.
Yeah, so you know the Clasico is still coming. Second round of the Clasico is still coming. So Real Madrid can close that gap.
If they even close the gap, will they close the goal difference?
If they do head to head in La Liga, they do head to head in La Liga.
There is a 16 goal difference.
16 goal difference.
But in La Liga, they do head to head.
Head to head. If Sevens do head to head, for La Liga, they beat you 4-0. Can you beat 4-0 again? You cannot beat 4-0. So if you have head to head 4-0, 4-0, you have the same head to head, then they will not use goal difference to check.
Okay, but let's see who wins the La Liga this season. Barcelona first, Atletico second, and Real Madrid third. Just 3 points separating these 3 clubs. Is going to be a nice battle to see who wins that competition at the end of the season. Let's jump to the Serie A quickly before we talk about MPFL and take your calls. In the Serie A on Saturday, the title contenders Atlanta has played at a 0-0 draw with Venezia. I think it's a disappointing result because everybody was expecting
that was where the title could have been won.
No, at least match them.
It's not match them. That was where the title could have been won.
So the other result, Napoli and Inter played at a 1-1 draw. A good result for both of them. Udinese 1, Parma 0, Monza 0, Torino 2, Genoa 1, Empoli 1, Bologna 2, Cagliari 1, Roma beating Como 2-1. And the final game on Sunday is Milan losing away at home to Lazio 2-1. Poor results for AC Milan. Today Juve is going to be playing Verona for today's game. Okay, if you look at the Atlanta game, we are talking about it. They will if they probably have won this game, probably
1 point behind.
Come on.
Now look at that's why I said that was where the title could have been won for Atlanta, because you closed it down to 1 point. Inter Milan still has tough matches to play. They still have the Milan derby to play. You don't know how it's going to go out. They still have against Juventus to play. You don't have how it's going to go out. Napoli still have tough matches to play as well. So if you had won this game, you close it down to 1 point.
1 point. Yes.
Then the rest of the games are soft landings for you. You're playing against Roma. You know definitely Roma is contending to be somewhere in European competition next season. But you want to win the league, so you're going to be fighting with. You want top 4. I want the title. So that spirit to be like, I have won this game. I come so far to let go now. I cannot be the loser at the end. So this game should have been a telling moment for Atlanta. I don't want to believe that the incident in the last game is still affecting.
This things happen in football. Even though our own guy played, he did not score in that game. Okay, talking about other title contenders, Napoli and Inter played at a 1-1 draw. Inter scored first, but Napoli equalized to make it 1-1.
You know, we said this on Saturday. We said Atlanta will win. Inter Milan. I said I don't care what happens between Inter Milan and Napoli. All I want is a draw from both of them. Then Atlanta should win. But as long as Atlanta disappointed us, the Inter Milan game was just interesting for neutrals to see. Good game for both midfielders. Good game for both attackers. Everybody did their jobs and got their result.
John?
For me, I feel like it's an opportunity lost, and now it's out of their hands. They have to hope for something fortunate to happen to Inter Milan or Napoli for them to, take that opportunity and close the gap. But it's a hard one for them. And for Inter Milan, I felt they missed out on an opportunity to put daylight between them and Napoli, because it's going to still be a 3-horse race. But Bani, 2 people in top contention for the Serie A this time around. It's going to be a fun one to watch because there are interesting games coming up, and then if you lose or you drop points, you are out.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. On that big game they're playing, Chukwueke scored. Samuel Chukwueke scored for the only goal for AC Milan, but they lost that game with the final penalty from Pedro, losing against that game at home to Lazio 2-1. I think Milan has been poor this season. I don't know what is wrong. They're out of the Champions League. Now they are not even going to win the Serie A. It's even impossible. But finally, it was a good game for our own score. So me, I know get
No,
problem.
it wasn't a good game for our own because our own scored.
He scored. You should go and find a bigger club and play. I don't know what he's
He
doing.
come from Villarreal to AC Milan. What else is bigger?
Let him go to another
From
bigger
Spain,
one.
from Spain.
Or you should try England. Even go to Bournemouth in England. It's better for
You
him.
say?
Yes.
The spinner will come and try England. Anthony is spinner. Let me say let's just dribble and not score goals. Now income England can't do. What's happen? They did not appreciate him. So if he's coming to England, would Arsenal want him?
Okay, the top four, and if you look at the table of the Serie A, the top four in Serie A, Inter after 27 games have 58 points. Napoli after 27 games have 57. Then Atlanta 55 points. Lazio in fourth with 50 points. So Lazio has a small chance to win this title because they are just 8 points behind the leaders. If you look at Asta is 9 points, Abi. And we are thinking Asta might challenge. So why won't Lazio challenge their own? So Lazio are fourth with 50 points. But let's see who is going to win this Serie A. Is going to be an interesting La Liga, and Serie A is going to be an interesting battle. I think for English Premier League, I think that one is settled. But these two particular leagues, we are going to see what happens till the end of the season. Okay, let's open the phone lines and take phone calls. Tell us what you think about, especially Manchester United losing that game against Fulham. It's an interesting game because Iwobi and Basi is in the next round. They are our own. They are in the next round of that competition. But Manchester United fans are not still happy, even though some of them are saying they play good game, but they are not happy that they lost. Call us and tell us your contribution about these games. Number to call is 0706 048 5853, or you can call 0915 570 8347. Yeah, hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is calling from the corner.
Okay,
Welcome.
what is your contribution?
First of all, I want to thank City fans for their winning. Yeah, it's not easy. It was a blowout.
Okay.
And Manchester United fans made them endure. Made them endure.
All right.
Yes, that's my thing.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. Manchester United, they say make una endure. This year, and it's an endurance we might reach.
Now long suffering.
Now long suffering, no. Now long suffering.
He reached Man United time now. Wait, he reached Man United time now long suffering. When Ateta they tell now, trust the process. We see they trust the process. 5 years don't pass.
But let's see.
Man United will endure.
They will endure.
And they will trust the process.
You can't compare Arsenal to Man United. Man United
Why?
fans
Bigger
feel
club.
Why?
they should win a title every year.
Then
So-
they will have to endure it. Trust the process.
Okay. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Okay. We lost that call. 0706 048 5853. Call us and tell us your own contribution about all these things we are talking about. Okay, let's dive over to the MPFL. Okay, let's take this call before we talk about the MPFL. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I did not call it to contribute call it to this job.
Hello, good morning. How you doing?
Okay, good morning.
Fine.
Okay.
From Scotland. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Have an awesome day.
Bye.
I'm fine.
All right, thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
John, you have a personal fan. Okay. You just came to greet John. Imagine. Okay, John, they are greeting you.
Nah, just that the children know.
Okay, let's take more calls. Yeah, hello, good morning. Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please. Okay, what is your contribution? Quickly.
Pedro.
Everybody want to turn the racist. As in, is
But I'm not carrying it up. I think I want to invest in themselves into the education.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. In the MPFL, I'll give you the result that happened in the MPFL. They will talk about Rangers International in the MPFL. Sunshine Stars. Sunshine Stars winning 4-2 against Kwara United. Abia Warriors and Nasarawa United played at a 1-1 draw. Bayelsa United 2, Bendel Insurance 1. Niger Tornado 0, Rangers. Niger Tornado 0, Enyimba. I wish it was Rangers International. But Niger Tornado 0, Enyimba 1. Enyimba winning away from home. Kano Pillars beating Rangers International 2-1. Remo Stars 1, Plateau United 0. So it's now 13 points between Rangers and Remo Stars. Ikorodu City 2, Heartland of Owerri 0. Akwa United and Katsina United are playing today. Economy Warriors and Lobby Stars are playing today. And finally, for who are playing today is Shooting Stars and Rivers United will play today. Okay, let's talk about the Rangers game because it's a disappointing loss again for Rangers.
Disappointing result, man.
When we have already beaten these guys last week, we are not thinking, okay, let's see what happens. Funny thing about this game is that Rangers scored first. We had a penalty and we scored fourth in the 33rd minute. So and we are saying, okay, let's see, probably are going to win away from home. But they equalized in the first half, making it 1-1. In the 60th minute, Jerry Alex scored for Kano Pillars to make it 2-1.
You know, there's a saying that goes that fear is the killer, fear is the enemy. And the most important thing I said before that game is that the mentality going into this game is quintessential. You can't go into this game thinking this is Kano Pillars, this is their home, this is this. How you see yourself relative to the enemy is always going to be super important, which is why if you're a Bible student, you will know that some people went somewhere and came back and said that we are like grasshopper in there. How did you enter the person's eye to know that you are a grasshopper? So your own mentality, number one, has to be up there. You have to go, you have to believe that you can do it, even against all odds, even against all the facts on the pitch. You have to go and you have to play 90 minutes and then you wait for the opportunities to present themselves. So for me, I'm already getting triggered, you know, because this is not 13 points in a league that we won last year. We should be retaining. It's not a normal thing. I can never accept mediocre. You are the one that's like a grasshopper. I can never accept mediocre.
We are like grasshopper in their. It means a grasshopper they have to catch. We go enter, we go come out. Anyhow it be. But I just feel like this game, I'm not going to force the players. We want to see because wait till they see that at the end result. Wait till they see that at the end result. I'm not going to force the players. We said use what's it called, reverse psychology. Convert their noise to your energy. And maybe our players they don't get that. But the foul on our player that got the penalty and Usman to score the goal was a good one. We got the first goal. But the one they gave them, that's an officiating error. I'll say the way it is. The Kano Pillars penalty, the 42-minute goal for Kano Pillars was an officiating error. It wasn't a penalty, but it was given. Fine. But in the second half, when they came into the second half, I think the energy level was just not. Kano Pillars was on another level. You get. They did their effort. I'll keep saying it. What I appreciate is not the result, it's the effort. I appreciate the players. They did the work they needed to do. But it wasn't enough. The effort was there. They did everything they needed to do. Just that they didn't get the goal. It's just like playing against a team that sits deep and plays on the break. You didn't get the goal. They did their job. They did everything they needed to do. But the result didn't come forth. So I'm just going to say they tried. But it wasn't good enough. The effort is what I appreciate. But the result is not what I needed.
After 15 games with this type of effort, will you appreciate effort or will you say that we need to get this team out here and get another set of players inside? For you can appreciate the effort all you want. Effort is not what there is something people say, and I take offense to it. They say, I've done the best I can do now. It's not the best you can do.
It's not the best
you are required to get the job done no matter what it takes. That's what is required. Don't go there and tell me you've done the best you can do. Get the job done no matter the cost.
Okay, Rangers International losing that game. Now, that win for Kano Pillars now, they are fourth on the table. Rangers International have dropped to fifth. So if you look at the table in the MPFL, Remo Star winning their game 1-0. They have 54 points after 27 games. Rivers United are second with 42 points. Shooting Stars are doing very well in this league with 42 points. Kano Pillars with 42 points. So second, third, and fourth has 42 points in this league. Rangers International are fifth with 41 points. Ikorodu City 41 points and sixth. Seventh is Abia Warriors with 41 points. Eighth position is Bendel Insurance with 38 points. Enyimba is ninth with 38 points. Niger Tornadoes is 10th with 37 points. Economic Warriors is 11th with 37 points. Kwara United is 12th on the table with 36 points. Katsina United is 13th on the table with 33 points. Heartland is 14th with 33 points. Bayelsa United is 15th on the table with 33 points. Plateau United is 16th on the table with 31 points. National United 17th with 31 points. 18th, they are the last three relegation guys. Sunshine Stars with 31 points in 18th position. Aqua United has 24 points in 19th position. The last on the table is Lobby Star with 23 points. They still have a chance because if you look at Sunshine Stars and National United and Plateau, they have 31 points. So
31 points. Look at even Katsina United that is in 36 points on 6th position. So from 13th or so down.
It's still
So
that
from
battle.
13th down, it's still a relegation battle.
Let's see who is going to drop. But I think the person that has a more chance to qualify or to survive is Sunshine Star because they are at the same point with Nassau United and Plateau United. So let's see who survives in this relegation battle. For Rangers International, they moved down to 5th. It's a disappointing loss for them. So let's see if they can pick up points at least to qualify for continental football next season. But let's see if it's going to happen. The truth should do something for us. Thank you for joining us on today's show. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll come back again to talk football. Thank you. The magic of the FA Cup. We are giving you the quarterfinal rounds. Let's see who wins the FA Cup. For the La Liga title, Real Madrid is lacking.
They are sitting third.
They are still lacking, so they need to do something. If you are a Real Madrid fan, let's hope that they are going to do something and win. But Barcelona is doing well. They started picking up points everywhere. So for the past 30 days, for the past 1 or 2 months, they are first in the La Liga. But let's see who wins the La Liga title this season. Thank you for joining us. I'll be here tomorrow. Remember, guys, we are live every day on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. My name is Godwin, and have a lovely day.
Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a goal! It's a goal!
Entertainment. News and politics.
Enugu State Governor has sentenced the electricity bill.
Gospel.
And let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within people.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Vote 104.